Flyers, Phillies, let's talk about them. Sixers, Eagles, let's talk about them. What the Union doing? Pull up with the crew and have a drink or two and let's talk about them. This a PHI bar. Bruce Willis, we die hard. I know you feel us, cause Philly fans is the best sports fans by far. No cheating here, we gon' keep it fair. You don't like my set, somebody help them. This the key, if we can disagree without disrespecting, everybody welcome. So what we talking about? Practice? What we talking about? Let's unpack this. Top shelf, sports talk, lights, cameras, we
Yo, 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 yo. It's your boy Jamar, Top Shelf Sports Talk. Back on this beautiful, beautiful Sunday morning as the Eagles get ready to take on the Giants in a revenge game. All right, let's talk about it, right? Last week, I wasn't critical. I was critical on not Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts. Rightfully so, because if you can look at it, if you're a sports fan, look at the difference between, last week versus the Minnesota Vikings, and then the week before versus the who they played the week before, the Giants. So it's a night and day difference when Jalen Hurts is dialed in, ready to play. It's a night and day difference. I could care less with not being in a harsh or mean way. I know a lot of people think that I'd be just going hard on Jalen Hurts, going hard on the Eagles organization or whoever. You know what I mean? But when you know what greatness look like, when you know what your players are capable of doing, your team is capable of doing, you should never settle for anything less. Like you should never settle for a half-assed Jalen Hurts or Devontae Smith or Dallas Goedert or A.J. Brown. You should always want and demand, excellence when it comes to it. Because that is your franchise. That's what you should be used to. And for so many years, y'all know we haven't been in a position to have this type of faith in this team. So sometimes when you see people not achieving or not playing to the best of their ability, you get mad. You get overcritical of them because you know they could do better. Just like with Jalen Hurts. Like, Jimmy, you thought I was going hard on him last week, and I wasn't. I was just saying that he has his blame in the way this team is playing as well. You know what I mean? He's definitely done a lot of good. When it comes to this Eagles organization, he's definitely brought a winning mentality to it that not even all his teammates even buy into, because some of his teammates just want the accolades. And we're going to get into that. You know what I mean? We're going to get into A.J. Brown. Always open A.J. Brown. Now, I think it's two parts to that. I think one part of it is that he's frustrated that he's not being utilized the best way he can, or the best way the team should use him to be able to be in position to win games. I think that is a frustration on him, and I get it, because you have a dynamic offense. You have just about every skill position, dominant players in the top 5, top 10 in the respective positions, and they're on the field. And like I said, I've been saying this all season long, and even with the win last week against the Vikings, it doesn't change. Kevin Patullo still has to be better. But AJ, I don't know if the thought process is for you to say to yourself, I want my stats, I want my numbers, and I'd rather go somewhere else to get that. I don't know if that's what you're doing or what you want. I want my stats and numbers, and I'd rather play somewhere else just to make sure that I'm getting that over the chance of winning multiple championships year in and year out. And if that's your mindset, more power to you. No disrespect to your position and what you feel as though you want to do with your career. I can't sit here and say that you're wrong. Good morning, everyone. If you just now joining in, good morning. I can't sit there and say that you're wrong. But at the end of the day, if you're on a team, to me, just to me, if I'm on a team that that just come off a Super Bowl run, obviously our coordinator that helped get us there is, he got taken away by another team. He got a head coach position. He got a promotion or whatever. So it's going to be another coordinator come in. And the only thing that I will fault the Eagles for is that, like, especially in 2023, when you went Brian Johnson and Sean Desai route, you see that didn't work because they didn't have the experience at play calling. And I would have rather them brung in somebody that can help Kevin Patullo out with plays, that has the ability or has the thought process or the experience at calling plays, so that he doesn't become what everybody's saying, Lane Johnson and all the linemen, everybody's saying, predictable. Because I think that's what happens. You know what I mean? I think sometimes the Eagles get overconfident, believing that they just can line up against anybody and do what they want, not understanding that the teams in front of them are professional teams too, with professional players. But back to AJ Brown, like, if you believe that you want to go somewhere else than chase stats, then by all means, you have to do what's best for you and your family. But me personally, I'm looking at this situation and saying to myself, if I was on the Eagles organization, yes, I would want things to be done differently. Yes, I would want to be involved in the game more. Yes, I would want to be feeling like I'm a part of it. But am I going to let that cloud my judgment for my future? Because now we're talking about legacy. You won a Super Bowl, right? You won a Super Bowl already. Now it's time to build and win more and win more. And I don't know. I mean, there's other organizations out there that you can go to that could possibly, win championships. But you obviously know that you probably won't be traded somewhere that is a real contender, especially within the NFC, or even, well, maybe the AFC. But depending on what you're getting back. But where would you want to go? Now, I know the Eagles organization already came out and said that they are not trading AJ Brown, but that's you have to put the PR out there and say that you're not trading him because you don't want the floodgates to open. You don't want him to feel disrespected. You don't want him to check out. But if you're going to be on the field, if you're going to be tweeting at the games, if you're going to be doing what you're doing, is it really helping your team and helping build the morale that you said you want to build within the team? Is it helping you get where you want to be as far as a player on it, on this organization? You heard what Jalen Carter said. He said, "I'd rather win with no sacks, no pressures, and get the W versus getting 10 sacks and an L." So, like, the young guys are even saying, like, I ain't worried about my stats. Just the W's is what I'm worried about, because I'm worried about playing in the Super Bowl at the end of the year. And again, I want everybody to understand there's no knock to his thought process if that's what he wants to do. Now, the second part I was saying to this is, to me, is that I think the media knows that AJ Brown has really no. I'm not saying it in a bad way, but his like his interviewing skills are. They know they can get a hot take, or they know they can get something out of him. To be the top story on the headlines on the sports page for the next day. So I do believe they try to go to him and try to see if they can get something out of him just to make content for themselves like that. The last couple of videos, if y'all haven't watched them, man, please go on my page and watch the videos that I just posted about hot takes or whatever I just did. I don't do politics, but I had to say something about the Stephen A. Smith, Jasmine Crockett thing, because it's like people go out there and say things, and they go out there and tweet, like AJ Brown. You go out there and tweet something, you can't take it back after you do it. Once it's out there, it's out there. Then you got to come back and say, you know what? My bad. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't know that was going to happen. And my question is that even for like AJ, like, if you go out there and demand a trade, not even demand a trade, but if you silently request a trade, or the Eagles trade you to another team, another organization that has even bigger issues that you might believe is better than what you're going through now, or just not at a level of winning, but you're getting your stats, is that going to make you happy, or are you going to reflect on that and say, you know what? I wish I would have stayed in Philly because they're going on to win. Somebody help me out. Somebody tell me what y'all think about A.J. Brown and the constant subtweeting that he's doing. And do you think it's really helping his case or helping his cause? Because people would say that, oh, he needs to get his money, so he got to have his stats. A.J. Brown can have a down year this year. And he most likely might. I don't know. He's not playing today. Going into a bye week. He could have a down year this year. But I can guarantee any one of y'all that's sitting here watching me right now that A.J. Brown will get signed. If he was traded, he would get signed and extended by just about any other team in the league. Any other team in the league would love to have A.J. Brown services, whether he's on a down year or not. So when you talk about when stats are brought up, and you're talking about, he needs his stats to get his paycheck, the Eagles already paid him, mind you. The Eagles already paid him. You know what I mean? They already paid him. But if you believe that he wouldn't get paid going somewhere else because he had a down year this year, you're sadly mistaking yourself. You're sadly mistaking yourself because the dude would get paid. And I don't know if there's anybody around him that's even telling him that, because he would get paid no matter what. At the end of the day, A.J. Brown is A.J. Brown. You can't take that away from him. The man was A.J. Brown when he was in a Titans uniform. And we were just so lucky to get him out of a Titans uniform into an Eagle uniform, and it's working out for us. But we just need him to understand that it's working out for us. We need him to understand that it's not all about your individual stats. It's about the team wins and the team success. Because at the end of the day, when you put the jersey on, not only do you play for the name on the back of the jersey, you also play for the other 22 guys on the field that's putting their blood, sweat, and tears into this. There's guys out there that's trying to make it. You know what I mean? Make paydays like you. Or get to where you're at. You know what I mean? And to see a negative attitude or moping attitude or a person that's just focused on individual accolades is not conducive to a team win. I mean, Jalen Carter's not the only person that said that I don't care about stats. I care about the wins. I mean, Saquon Barkley said it. To a certain extent, Smitty said it. I mean, I know Smitty got irritated and frustrated with the offense in that Giants game, but that's because you could do better, and that's because your coaching staff is not putting you in the best position to win. Now, I know people was talking about they wanted Jalen Hurts under center a little bit more, and he's not comfortable playing under center because he don't like to turn his back to the defense. But my take on that would be, he didn't request a trade already. I'm just saying, like, he would be foolish too. I don't think he's trying to request a trade. I think what he's trying to do is trying to force the Eagles' hand, per se. I don't think he's actually going to come out and say it. I think he wants to force them to see if they're going to do it or not. But I don't think it's going to be worth it to him that they do it. You know what I mean? I don't think he's going to get what he wants out of that situation. It's just, sometimes you get in that mentality or that mode. They already say wide receivers are a diva position. And you get in that mentality thinking that, oh, yeah, I'd rather go somewhere else and contribute and do all what I could do, trying to draw attention to itself. Yeah. But it's not necessary. Now, if we were 2-5, which we could have been, we very well could have been. If we were 2-5, I would kind of be okay with the thought process that he has. If we were 2-5, I would respect where he's coming from when it comes to his position of trying to be contributing to the team. Like, but we're 5-2. We're 5-2. So there's no need for you. There's no need for you to act the way you act or do what you do and try to make the team or the organization put or force a trade for you or make a trade for whatever. Because at the end of the day, like I said, I don't think personally it's going to make him feel better that he gets traded to a different team that's going to maybe utilize him more, but not win as much. I mean, you could be utilized a whole lot, but not win. How is that helping you? How is that helping your organization? How is that helping your mindset and what you try to do with the Philadelphia Eagles? So that's the point I'm trying to make. Like it's not the best thing to do if you're in his position, because at the end of the day, you could get traded to, let's say, Cincinnati Bengals or whoever else But are they going to win? Are they in position to win before you really start diminishing? Are whatever team you go to, let's say the Ravens or whoever else, are they in position to win? The Ravens might be a bad example because they probably could use a guy like AJ Brown, even though Zay Flowers has been pretty good. Grass always green on the other side of the fence. His best career years is with Jalen and the Eagles. So what can be done? That's the point I'm making. Like, but see, the thing is, hey, me, you, everybody, that's watching now, we all know that. I think the problem is, does he know it? Does he understand it? Because at the end of the day, like, what can you do in another like, if you're in another uniform, can you win the way you've been winning since you became an Eagle? I mean, that would be the question he would have to ask himself. Can you win the way you have been winning since you become an Eagle? Like, and you could get 1,000 or whatever yards a game. I mean, a season. But where's your season ending? There's a lot of guys there's a lot of guys that would switch positions with AJ Brown right now to be in the situation that he in right now. I mean, look at the quarterback injuries around the league. Look at like Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase. You don't think them two would trade and just probably have down years, but winning and going to Super Bowls and winning Super Bowls? You don't think them guys would want to do that? And at the end of the day, this is not a dog AJ Brown show because I'm not dogging him. I'm just trying to get the thought process to be like, yo, listen, you might want to look at this differently. You might want to pay attention to this a little bit different because the grass ain't always greener on the other side. It definitely ain't. We've saw so many people leave here and thought that they were going to better situations when they realized they're not. You know. But this week we focus on the Giants. We focus on the Giants. We focus on the revenge. We focus on getting our lick back from 2 weeks ago on Thursday night when they came out and just totally dominated us, beat us 34-17. So we're looking to get avenge that loss. And we got Big Jalen Carter back, who was not present in that game, who I believe will wreak havoc today because this game here is a game of revenge. And plus, we're getting ready to go on the bye week. I'm a big Eagles fan. I'm a big Eagles season better. Eagles kick Giant butt. Yes, they're going to kick the Giants butt today. And you were halfway right about your prediction last week. So, good shout out to you. You know what I mean? Today is my stepmother's birthday. Happy birthday, stepmother. Happy birthday. Hope you enjoy your day. From us at the Top Shelf Sports Talk family, happy birthday. But at the end of the day, we're focused on the Giants, and I think today you might see Saquon Barkley go off today. I think today you might see Saquon Barkley go off today. I think he might have one of those 200-yard games today. Y'all might say, well, what makes you think that, or what makes you believe that? It's because when you got no AJ Brown, to me, I felt like last week they try to stick with the run, even when the run they feel as though it wasn't there. They try to stick with it. And I think this week is the week they say, especially going into a bye, where you can get some rest. But this week, I believe, is the week they say, you know what? Let's really try to get that run working and try to establish some run plays. I think Saquon Barkley goes off today. What do y'all think? Like, what's y'all thought process on today's game? What do y'all want to see in today's game? Like I said, I want to see Eagles 27-10. I could believe that. I could see that. I could see that. That's a good one. What do y'all see today? Who do y'all see having a big game? Like I say, don't let me sit up here and keep rambling on and on. Let's engage. Let's talk. Let's go back and forth, man. Let's make this show and this live enjoyable and fun for everybody. Having me ramble all off the whole hour is not always fun because I get to saying the same things over and over again, and I don't want to keep doing that. I want to comment off of what y'all saying. This is like a debate show. We got a debate. Yeah, it's his time. It's definitely his time. Like, I believe that, like I said, last week they committed to they ran the ball and they tried to stick with the run. I want to see them really, really commit to the run this week. Like, no, no stopping, no getting, discouraged or whatever, or if it's not working, then you try to deviate from it. Again, you have no AJ Brown. You know they're gonna go heavy on Devontae Smith's side. You will hope Darius Cooper, who's had a good preseason, will step up and be able to make some clutch plays out there. You think Cooper going to get an interception? I believe so too. I think the defense is going to have a good game anyway. Like I said, I've been saying that for all year. Over the last 2 years, I think the defense is what's going to win games for us. It's just that the offense is going to show us, put on a show for us. And it's time for the offense really to put on a consistent show from first quarter to the last quarter, and get people like this is all right. So this is what I want to say about. You would like to see Hurts run more today? I don't really want to see Hurts run more. You know why I don't want to see Hurts run more? I just don't want to risk the chance of an injury. I'd rather give it off to our running backs. I'd rather give it off to and let them do what they got to do. I just don't like the quarterback sneak because I don't really think they design it well. I think it's anytime he's ever ran and had good yardage is because the play broke down. Who's on IR? Who's on IR? You talking about what you called AJ Dillon? If you talking about AJ Dillon, I'm just talking about the running backs in general. I want to see our running backs run the ball. Like I want to see them. I want to see them heavy run, commit to the run, and don't stop running the ball. He's effective when he runs. He is, but again, I just don't want to risk the injury. He's definitely a good running quarterback. He definitely can run the ball, but I think if you got running backs back there, I would like to use them a little bit more because you're going to have to really rely on them come down to the postseason because you don't want to really run Jalen Hurts in the postseason or going into the postseason because it's really at risk for an injury and you need him for that run. I mean that stretch run, that playoff run. That's why I mean like I would like to see him run when it's necessary. I do not. I guess that's what I'm saying. When it's necessary, I want to see him run. When it's not necessary, I don't want to see him running. I want to see him, handing the ball off, taking what's given to him, and just be effective. I want to see pretty much what he did last game, but a little bit more commitment to the run. Just like keep trying to run the ball against this Giants team. This Giants team can't stop the run. So I like to see him run the ball, against this team and establish, a dominancy on the run going into the bye week. Because I was getting ready to say, like, this is what I understand. I've been catching a lot of, different podcasts. I just saw Nick Foles on a podcast. I don't know if it's his podcast or somebody else. I followed it, but I didn't really catch the name. But I want to know something. You don't think Jalen Hurts is an elite passer? Do you think that if Jalen Hurts, like all year long, they've been stopping the run? Every team that they played geared up to stop the run. Do you think that because they're stopping the run, that Jalen Hurts has been beating teams with his arm? I want to know from everybody here. Do y'all believe that Jalen Hurts could beat teams with his arm consistently? Do y'all believe that he could do that? Help me out with this because I saw Nick Foles the other day. The problem is getting the ball to the running back, so if he could take it himself, worth the risk instead of getting sacked. If the play breaks down, then I'll go along with that. If it's a design running play, it's not hard to get the ball to the running back. But if the play breaks down and he has to run, I'm cool with that. I'm okay with I'm okay with the broken down play and then him having to take off. But I'm not cool. I don't want this. I don't want to see the design quarterback runs. That's what I don't want to see. I don't want to see design quarterback runs. I don't think it's necessary to have that, especially against this team right now in the New York Giants when you could just run the ball and beat them or pass it, however you want to do it. But I don't think design quarterback runs is going to help. It's not really worth it right now. You know why? Because like I said, you got to think about the injury factor. Tank Bigsby Day. I would like to see. I like whoever's going to run the ball. I like to see Saquon, Tank, whoever else they got back there that they can run the ball. Like I like to see a heavy run game. That's all I want to see today. A heavy run game going into the bye week. But just I don't know if anybody heard the question. Do you think that Jalen Hurts is capable of consistently beating teams with his arm? Like I said, I saw a podcast with Nick Foles was on it, and he said Jalen Hurts is not an elite passer. He's not a quarterback that you can rely on to consistently pass the ball and win games. And me personally, I don't know. I don't think I don't like I said. I know from how he was saying it and what he was saying that he's not actually hating on Jalen Hurts. He just believes that I guess sometimes that we all see Jalen Hurts might, and then like some of his point, and I wish I had it saved. I would play it, but some of his point is valid. Some of it is because sometimes Jalen Hurts do lock on to his first progression and doesn't go through the rest. But last week was a perfect example of us seeing Jalen Hurts go through all progressions and get the ball to the open man. Why not design quarterback runs at right moment is backbreaking. But I think what you're saying is true. It could be backbreaking at moments, but think about the target he puts on his back. When they do it. I mean, it's not all times that people gonna be like put like this last year against Washington. He had a 50-yard scramble, and on a slide down, when he was sliding to give himself up, he got hit and had a concussion. Like, I mean, you got to ask yourself, is it really worth it right at this point of the season to risk that? Is it really worth risking any injury right now at a 5-2 record when you have time to get things right? Is it really worth it? That's what I'm trying to make sure y'all understand. Yes, he has proven that he can win that. That's what I say. But a lot of people, former quarterbacks, it seems like a lot of because Donovan McNabb said it, and now Nick Foles said it. It seems like a lot of former Eagle quarterbacks are believing that Jalen Hurts can't beat or can't consistently win with his arm, and I just don't see it. Like I say, sometimes he do lock on. That's just foolish. We have seen him do it for years. Jay, I didn't say he can't run. I don't know what the foolish part is coming from. I didn't say he can't run, but you gotta come on, Jay. You know that there's risk of injury in any running play, especially for a quarterback, especially for Jalen Hurts. Do you think people ain't going out here, especially with him effectively doing the tush push and beating teams or getting first down convert? Like you think that teams or players are not going to like really try to make him pay? Like this is what I'm saying. Like it's not that he doesn't have the ability to do it. And it's not that if they can run it at the right time that he can put a dagger on the team's back. I'm not saying none of that. Understand what I'm saying? I'm saying that are you really willing to risk an injury right now at this point of the season, going into a bye week or whatever? At this early point of the season, are you really willing to risk an injury that could possibly hurt you going forward? That's what I'm asking. Now, when I say this, now if it's week 15, week 16, and we need wins, cool. Make the play. Call whatever play you can, call to win that game. But at this point is what I'm saying. Do you really need to do that right now? Oh, okay. Oh, my bad. I thought you was talking about the run. My bad. That was on me. No, but it is foolish. But you see a lot of former Eagles quarterbacks talking about how he's not an elite passer. And I'm sitting there like saying to myself, like, and this is like I said, Nick Foles was not sitting there trying to hate. Excuse me, my nose is running. He was not sitting there trying to hate on Jalen Hurts or anything like that. He wasn't. He only said those things because of like how the season started off, how the season is starting off. And again, I said this last week and I've said this before. When Jalen Hurts is not dialed in and he's not He's not, focused on the game. I think he just doesn't give his all. You know what I mean? Like, and that might not be the right way to say it. It's all on Jalen to do on more. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, he has to understand. Like, even if he doesn't like the play, he can either one, check out of it, or two, develop your mindset to say, I'm gonna make this work no matter what I like or not. Because again, not that he cares about anybody around the league hating on him or talking crazy about him or whatever the case may be. I know he doesn't care about that. I know his thought process is that I don't care what nobody say. And it's to a point where he don't really care what some of his teammates are even saying. Because he's looking at it like I'm playing within my game. In which that's what you ask him to do. But when you're playing within your game, I think the difference is now because people seen the quarterback position over the years and how the quarterback position make whatever throws they make on the field. And because they see Jalen Hurts winning in a different type of way than they're normally seeing a quarterback win, it makes them believe that he's not an elite quarterback. But Jalen Hurts has won more since being named a starter than most of the quarterbacks that's sitting out there hating on the fact that he's not an elite passer. So, like, it's like you got to ask yourself that. If you're Nick Foles, you came in and we love you for it. At the time when Carson Wentz got hurt, took us to the Super Bowl when we, a lot of us Eagles fans thought when Carson went down, it was over. But you came in, you played at a high level, took us to a Super Bowl and won it. In that Super Bowl, you threw throws that Jalen probably wouldn't have thrown. I admit he probably wouldn't have thrown. But career-wise, his winning percentage as the starting quarterback is better than yours. And we've seen him outplay the best quarterback over the last couple years twice on a high stage. Even though they lost one of them, but he's outplayed the best quarterback on a Super Bowl platform twice. And especially last year, he beat him throwing with his arm. So that's my thing. Like, it's just like I think the way that the Eagles style of playing right now is making people believe that that Jalen Hurts is just not an elite passing quarterback. And they don't understand that when, like last week, when Smitty called his number, and said, I'm noticing when they line up in this type of defense, the safety usually goes over to AJ Brown's side. He said, when we come out and they do that offense, they do that defense, look for me. I'm gonna do the double move because Isaiah Rodgers is gonna bite on that double move. And I'm gonna beat him deep. And the ball that he threw was right on the money. Right on the money. Dropped it right in the basket. Didn't have to turn around and come back and get it. Didn't have to wait for it in stride. He has to prove him wrong, but I think he's been consistently proving them wrong for the last couple of years. But the way the Eagles play is easy for them to hide behind the fact that he doesn't prove it. I think he's been proven since he's been starting that he's an elite passer. He has a deep ball. He has the ability to throw the deep ball and be accurate with the deep ball. I think at times he gets in his head when he believes that the play that is called is not to his liking and he doesn't go through the progressions as he should. And that's hurtful to him. It's not hurtful to his ability. He has the ability to do what these people are saying that he's not doing. But again, he's one of those cerebral type players where if it's not going the way he wanted or if it's not being called the way he wants it to be called, he checks out of it and he doesn't fully engage in it. And like I said, you see the difference between last week Jalen Hurts and the Thursday night Jalen Hurts. You saw the difference. That last touchdown to AJ Brown, it was at least two guys around him. It could have been a third, but the third guy was late. But that's a throw against the Giants he wasn't going to make. But you see when last week against the Vikings, he made the throw. because he trusted the play. He trusted his receiver. He trusted everything about the play. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying to Jimmy last week when you thought that I was dogging him and I thought I was going against him. I was blaming him and all that. I'm like, you could tell the difference between when he's dialed in, ready to play football versus when he's not. Because there are throws that last week that he would not have made the week before if he wasn't dialed in and ready to go. When he's dialed in, ready to go, he's 100. When he's 110% boots on the ground, ready to go and play football, you can't stop the man. You can't stop the man. The only problem with Jalen Hurts is that Jalen Hurts has to he had to get out of his own head. He has to get out of his own head. That's the only issue that most of us could say we have with Jalen Hurts. And that's what I'm saying. If you're being real, if you're being understanding of the quarterback position, you know that the man can play football. You know that man can he can throw the ball. There's no way he would have won a Super Bowl if he couldn't. There's no way he would have got to the Super Bowl if he couldn't. 2 out of the last 3 years, he's in the Super Bowl. And you know what people were saying? Get to the Super Bowl this year, and then we'll give him his credit. Like, damn. Joe Burrow got to the Super Bowl one time. Lamar Jackson and Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen never been to the Super Bowl. Neither one of them never been to the Super Bowl, but they have more respect than Jalen Hurts has around the league because they play what everybody wants to see at a quarterback position, even while still losing and not getting to the the promised land, the Super Bowl. And to me, that's just crazy. The Eagles are winning. They might be winning in an unorthodox or unrecognizable or a way that the league is not used to, but they're winning and they getting to Super Bowls by doing just exactly what they're doing. And because that's the look that they give in the league, guess what the league is saying? Oh no, he's not an elite passer. He's not an elite quarterback. He's not top 10. He's not top 15. There's people that are saying that he's not top 15, top 20 quarterback. Those people are stupid. You know what I mean? Sorry for the language, but them people are stupid. Because how can you say that a quarterback who went to the Super Bowl 2 out of the last 3 seasons is not an elite quarterback? That just don't make no sense. Like people like that, again, it goes back to my videos. Go back on my pages, watch them videos about hot takes. Every time one of these analysts say something like that, say something crazy, or these podcasters, whoever it is, you know what they always have to do? They always have to walk back and say, you know what? I was wrong. When Jalen Hurts got drafted by the Eagles, every ESPN analyst, every analyst around the league said that he wasn't a starting quarterback. He wasn't the answer at quarterback position for the Eagles. He wasn't this, he wasn't that. And then they saw him come out and perform and play the game and get to the Super Bowl the second year as the quarterback. And now all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, he might be him. And then again, like I said, the year of the epic collapse. They had the epic collapse. And guess what happened? Going into last year, nobody had him top 5, top 10 quarterback in the league. I mean, C.J. Stroud. And there's no knock to those guys like C.J. Stroud and all those rookies that came in and they took the league by storm. But look what they're doing now. Jaden Daniels has been hurt, but look at what he's doing now. It was a lot of analysts that had Jaden Daniels over Jalen Hurts this year. Anyone who says he's not top 15, top 10, crazy talking, just hating. Yeah. But see, you know why they do it? Because they want to be able to change the algorithm of their name. So a lot of these people were saying, like, yo, he's not, like, think about it, Cam Newton. And I used to like the guy, but I think he's one of the biggest idiots right now that's just out there just trying to make a name for himself, which I even said in my last video, you can't knock how he makes his money. But, like, bro, he has won at heights that you didn't. And you have Baker Mayfield better than him. You have Baker Mayfield better than him. Now, what I will give credit to Cam Newton is that when he said, if the game is online and you want to lead it, which quarterback would you have And this is not night and day. Like, I'm not saying this night and day better, but like, what quarterback would you have? This is a question for y'all. Which quarterback out of Baker Mayfield and Jalen Hurts would you want if you was in a 2-minute offense and you had to win the game? Which quarterback are you taking to win that game? Now, keep in mind, to start the season, we saw Baker Mayfield win like the first 3 or 4 games off the last 2 minutes. So just keep in mind of that. So, but what quarterback would you want to see do that? Or which quarterback do you have most confidence in getting that dub? And this, again, it's not saying nothing about Jalen Hurts' skill, because me, if you flip the question and say which quarterback would you take to win it, that you would could have to win a Super Bowl, I'm going Jalen Hurts all day long. All day long. Sorry, y'all. I got something in my nose. Sorry. Excuse me. I'm going Jalen Hurts all day long. But anyway, that was my first couple minutes or first half hour, 40 minutes of the show, talking about what the Eagles need to do better. Again, I'm looking for the Eagles to come out today and have a dominant game, dominant run game in particular. I want to see Saquon Barkley have about 20, 25 carries, 150, 200 yards, couple touchdowns. I would like to start off by saying, number one, the Dunkin' Donuts gift card, which was not mentioned on your last week's number 2. My mom wanted a Dunkin' Donuts gift card last week. I did say that. I attended the Warriors game in San Francisco. Loved it. AZ is on a bye, but still necessary to mention that it's going up to 88 sunny now. You can carry on. I knew I shouldn't have. When I saw how long that message was, or that, I knew I should not have put that on the show. Um, so you get a laugh. You get laughed at for that, But anyway, let me get back to my program. You done messed me all up. Anyway, Thursday night we seen the Chargers take down the Minnesota Vikings. The Chargers, they're an iffy team, but I knew Carson Wentz and that Vikings team wasn't going to be able to beat the Chargers. I think they got Khalil Mack back last week or this Thursday, and they were going to play some good football, and they were going to beat that Carson Wentz led team. Carson Wentz, unfortunately, is not the same quarterback he was when he first got drafted into the NFL. But that's not on us. That's on the Minnesota Vikings. Hopefully they might get J.J. McCarthy back next week. We'll see. But I don't even have too much confidence in him. Next game today at 1 o'clock is the Miami Dolphins at the Atlanta Falcons. Miami is a dumpster fire. I'm pretty sure they're going to be heavy sellers at the trade deadline, November 4th. I'm pretty sure, if they could get rid of a Tua contract, because even Mike McDaniels is throwing them under the bus. Excuse me. Then I was 14 and still lost. Yeah, Allen had more. No, you wasn't 14-2. I gotta look at the thing, but I think Allen beat you by points. I think he beat you by points. That's what happened. My mom goes Atlanta, but Miami's going to be a dumpster fire. It's a dumpster fire. It should be heavy traders or heavy sellers at the trade deadline. Jason goes Atlanta. I like to see, what's his name, Chubb. See if we can make a run at Chubb or whatever, and see if we can get him on our defensive line. I know we brought Brandon Graham back, but I'd still like to see us, try to be, heavy or some players at the trade deadline, cornerback, 2, pass rusher, one of the 2. We gotta get somebody on that team that can keep up the pressure that that the defensive line is creating, and try to get stops on third downs and things of that nature, because third downs are killing us. Next game, the New York Jets. I went Atlanta in that game as well. And if you follow my video where I did my picks, I did pick the Chargers. So I started y'all off with a win. If y'all listen to me, I'm a hater. I'm not a hater. What I'm hating on, I don't even play in it. I can't play in it, but I'm not a hater. You can't win them all. You can't win every week. It's unfortunate, but you can't win every week. New York Jets at Cincinnati Bengals. I thought this Jets team was going to be better than what they were. They might be looking at an 0-16 season. They just have no stability at quarterback. They don't have anybody they can trust at quarterback. I believe today they might be starting Tyrod Taylor. I don't know, but this Jets team is not a good team, and I picked New England to win that game. Um, I have New England winning that game. So my mom picked. Hold on, mom. That's Cleveland and Cincinnati. Who you picked? Cincinnati, Cincy. They is. You done threw me off. What game were you? What game? Bengals. Am I looking at week 8? Did I skip one? Oh, you talking about the Jets game, Bengals? Okay, I'm sorry, y'all a little slow. Y'all a little slow, or it's coming to me a little slow, I should say. That's why I was a little thrown off. Um, but so y'all picked Cincy. Yeah, I picked Cincy over the Jets. No, I called that game, Jay. I called that game. I was on to the next game, and it threw me off because I forgot that I just called the Cincy and the Jets game, and I picked Cincinnati over the Jets to win that game. Because, like I said, I think the Jets don't have no quarterback. Their defense is not looking as good as it was over the last couple of years. That Jets team might be looking at 0-16. Right? They might be just looking at the 0-16, number one overall pick. Hopefully they get a quarterback that they can play with and get that team back on the map. But either them or Miami will be in the hunt for the number one pick. But I picked Cincinnati to win that game. Next game is Cleveland at New England. Cleveland at New England. I got New England winning that game. Since Cleveland is, at some point we're going to see Shador. It may be this week. I called it to be last week. I thought it was going to be last week, but I think it may wind up being this week that you see Shador. Dylan Gabriel is all right. I think maybe he might be a third string quarterback at best, but they got him starting because of the politics of the game and where they drafted Shador and trying to play politics with it. So they got him, starting because they drafted him higher. But either today or next week, we'll see a Shador sighting. But I went New England in that game, and I'm surprised, Mom, you went Boston. I mean, you didn't go Boston. You went Cleveland. I think Cleveland is going to struggle in that game because Cleveland, I mean, even though they got the best defense, I don't think they can score. That's the only issue. I don't think Cleveland can score. And New England's defense has been playing pretty good. So that's the only issue. I got Patriots, and I'm not going against your picks because obviously you picked games this season, in general that nobody picked, like the New York Giants, the New York Giants when they played against the Chargers. You picked that game, and nobody picked the Chargers. I mean, the Giants to win. Everybody picked the Chargers to win. You was the only one that picked it. So I'm not going against you. I'm just saying I don't know about this game. Jason picks the Patriots. Next game is our game, the New York Giants at the Philadelphia Eagles. They're at home with the Eagles. We're in the Kelly Green today. I told you I don't pick New England just because I went to school there. I think he might be just trying to prove me wrong, but it's okay. We're in the Kelly Green today. We're at home. We got the home field advantage today. I think that, like I said, I think the Eagles need to come out run heavy. Heavy Saquon, heavy running back game. Just get the run game established. Get the defense to soften up, and then you'll be able to hit them big bombs with Cooper and Devontae, and even get some targets with Dallas Goedert. Jason got the Eagles. You know what I mean? And I know my mom got the Eagles. But Philly got to run the ball heavy. Yep, birds. Next game, Buffalo at Carolina. Buffalo at Carolina. What's his name? Andy Dalton, I believe, is starting at quarterback for Carolina. I guess I think he twisted his ankle or something. Bryce Young twisted his ankle. Buffalo in that game. Going Buffalo. I think Buffalo is coming off the bye last week, so they well rested. I think before they went into the bye, they went in the bye with a loss. So I got Buffalo in that game. My mind goes Buffalo. Next game is the Chicago Bears at the Baltimore Ravens. I'm not sure how true this is. I think that I saw that they are keeping Lamar Jackson out of the game this week. Is Lamar Jackson playing this week? I'm not sure. But if he's not playing, I had picked the Ravens to win based off the fact that I thought he was playing. Let me see. Is he playing? Chicago. My mom picked Chicago. Um, Jason picked Chicago. Chicago won four straight. Um, and I'm not saying that they have the talents to beat some good teams. Um, I don't. Is Lamar Jackson playing today? I don't know. Oh, he out. Okay. So being as though he out, I would change my pick to Buffalo. I mean to Chicago, but I'm gonna stay with Baltimore because I already picked them based off the fact that I thought he was playing. So I'm gonna stick with Baltimore, even though now I believe because he's out, Chicago was probably gonna win that game. That might end up in a loss for me. I'll take it. But next game, San Francisco at Houston Texans. San Francisco have been finding ways to win. They have been finding ways to win. Mac Jones has been playing good at quarterback for that team. He's been putting the ball all around the field. I got San Fran in that game. I got San Fran. I don't believe in Houston right now. I think Houston got too many injuries. Um, I'm going San Fran in that game. As much as I don't want to see them win, but I think San Fran will go out and get the victory. Jason, I mean, my mom was Chicago. I said this. Jason was Chicago. Uh, Jason was San Fran. My mom said San Francisco looks is very nice and steep hills. Oh yeah, well this we're not, mom. We're not a travel show here, so we're going to stick to the game. So are you picking San Francisco in your pick with your pick? If you are, then we all went San Francisco in that pick, and which means which I like so far that all Jay, my mom, y'all been looking at my video and y'all been going off my picks and getting influenced off my picks, so I appreciate that. Purdy, who? Yeah, I know that's right. They didn't pay that man 260 million, man, and this and you know and what you call Mac Jones has come in and did probably better than Purdy because Purdy didn't look as good as he normally does or did. Next game, Tampa Bay at New Orleans Saints. The Saints, I don't. They're not a good team. They've got one win on the season. Um, Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield. Long as Baker Mayfield's back there, I believe Baker Mayfield can get it done. They're coming off a loss, um, but I believe Baker Mayfield can get back into that win column and get his team right on the ship. They're not. They don't have Mike Evans today. Mike Evans is out. I think Chris Godwin is still out, but they got Edgebuka there, and he's been a heck of a rookie wide receiver for that team. So I'm going Bucks in that game, and we all went Bucks. My mom went Bucks. Jason went Bucks. So we all went to with the Bucks in that game. Now here's a tricky game I picked, right? And because I've been picking against this team the last 2 weeks, and they've been burning me, I got the Dallas Cowboys at the Denver Broncos, and you saw Denver the last 2 weeks come back from being down in the fourth quarter, in particular, or the second half, in particular against the Eagles and then against the Giants. Last week against the Giants was epic. You know what I mean? It was epic. But I went Dallas in that game based off the fact that um, I believe that the Dallas Cowboys, even though they don't put up more than I think it was a report that said they don't put up more than 25 points a game on the road, but I do believe that they'll put enough points up this week to beat the Broncos. Hold on, Jason says Saints sound like you and your team at Pick'em. No, no, they're not. I went 11-4 last week. You know what I mean? Like I said, I gambled with a couple teams, believing that Dallas being one of them that I can, get some upset picks. But you take the good with the bad. No, the Saints are nowhere near. Like you see my record, I'm 70-38. Like, come on, man, stop it. Dallas, Dallas. I will be at Dallas Eagles game next month. Look for me on TV. All right, cool. Jason went Denver. I said, like I said, I'm going Dallas. I think Dallas can. I'm not a turncoat. I don't think Dallas is. I think Dallas will put up enough points to beat Denver, man. I think Denver's been getting lucky over the last couple of weeks, and I think the luck runs out. Unfortunately, like you can't win every game like that. You can't keep coming back from behind and winning these games. And Dallas, you got CeeDee Lamb, you got George Pickens out there. Once them two was on the field together, they got a pretty good wide receiver tandem. You can't knock that. So that's what I'm saying. I think that Dallas puts up enough points to beat the Denver Broncos. Next game is the Tennessee Titans at the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts is a real team. They could do it all. Jimmy says Dallas scores over 30 points. They this year have been, I think, held under 25 or 26 points this year on the road. But I think they have one of them games where they score over 30 over 30 on the road today. So we're gonna see. Like I said, I like Dallas. I like Dallas to win this game over Denver because Denver can't keep winning games where they come from behind. That's the only issue. But the Tennessee at the Colts. The Colts is, they for real. Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman, Indiana Jones, Shane Steichen. Again, I miss Shane Steichen. I'm gonna keep saying that. I miss Shane Steichen as a coordinator. I'm going Colts in that game. Colts is a real team. They for real. They playing some good football. Watch out for them being contenders for being in the coming out the AFC. Watch out for them. They got an all around team right now. My mom goes Indy. They got an all around team right now. So you got to watch out for that Colts team. Next game is the Green Bay Packers. You like Dallas? Just said and ever live this down. I don't like Dallas as my team. Like I like Dallas to beat to win against the Broncos because the Broncos has been playing from behind the last couple of weeks, and I don't think they can keep that up. That's the only reason why I'm picking Dallas. I don't like Dallas. You know what I mean? Like I'm not rooting for them. Jason with the Colts. I'm not rooting for Dallas by no stretch of the imagination. I hope they go out and lose by 50. But just so I can have bragging rights and pick 'em challenge, I need them to win. That's all. Green Bay Packers at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Green Bay Packers at the Pittsburgh Steelers. You got Aaron Rodgers versus his old team. Aaron Rodgers has been playing some good football in a Pittsburgh uniform. Does he keep it up? No, I don't think so. I think Green Bay comes out with the victory. I don't really trust Green Bay as a whole. My mom goes Green Bay. I don't really trust Green Bay as a whole because even Jordan Love is not a consistent quarterback, and they had him ranked higher than Jalen Hurts, which is stupid to me. You have these quarterbacks that my quarterback went out and beat twice last year, once the year before. I beat him like 3 times in a row. But you rank these guys higher than Jalen Hurts for what? And again, when Michael Parsons was traded to Green Bay, it was like people were giving Green Bay the Super Bowl. All right, Super Bowl goes to Green Bay, and it's like then you start to see Jordan Love play and see how inconsistent he is. It's like I don't know. We got to see what's going on with Jordan Love, like to me, it's like it's just the disrespect be real. Jason with the Steelers. I went Green Bay. I think Green Bay is going to win. Next game is the Commanders this is Monday night game. Commanders at Kansas City. Like I said, I've been telling y'all all season long that Kansas City reign is done and it's over, but they keep finding a way playing against teams that are wounded or not as good. They're at a point of their schedule where they're falling to a lot of games that are just beneficial to them to help them win. So, of course, in that game, because Jaden Daniels is not playing, I went Kansas City. My mom went Kansas City. I think Kansas City is going to find a way to win that game. Arm talent not play. I don't know. I just want to make sure of what I'm saying. Jason with the Chiefs. Are you saying that Jordan Love's arm talent is better than Jalen Hurts. Is that what you're saying, or are you just saying that's what they are saying? That's what I'm trying to figure out. But then you have it. There's week 8. Pick 'em. And again, if you smart, you would listen to me, and you would go with what I picked, because this sheet right here, I probably have this week right here. I probably have one loss. I may only have one loss. They have the highest odds to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, but I understand that. But what I'm saying is that you said arm talent, not play. Are you saying is that Jordan Love's arm talent is better than Jalen Hurts? Or are you saying that's what the analysts or people that's playing that he's saying that he's better than Jalen Hurts is saying? Like they had the highest odds to win the Super Bowl because of adding Micah Parsons. That's why. But I don't think that's conducive. Like, I don't think that's enough to beat the Eagles, like, or enough to say that you're a Super Bowl contender. Like, I might be saying it the wrong way, but and Jalen and Micah Parsons is a big piece. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying just because you added Micah Parsons, you still got to worry about the play of your quarterback to win the games that you need to win. That's what people are saying and thinking. Okay, all right, But like I said, I think we've proven them wrong over the years. You know what I mean? Because Jalen Hurts is the reigning Super Bowl MVP and winner. If they listen to you, people will never win. But you got to realize something. You tell me I'm a hater. I think you're probably the hater, because I'm the one that I went 11-4. You had a good week last week, but the week before I went 11-4 like 3 weeks in a row. You know what I mean? So what do the week before you didn't do good. So let's not do that. I guess I'm not smart not listening to you. When Dunkin' Donuts gift card, you got lucky. And if I was truthfully, if I was actually in consideration, like if I was in playing Pick'em too, I would have won the gift card, not you. So KC has highest odds now. Yeah, because they're playing against they've been playing some teams that they just been lucky at that time to be able to they playing up against, like Washington right now. All the injuries they got right now, or Jaden Daniels just being hurt. I mean, it fits them to win that game and it increase their chances of winning. But I just don't think when it comes down to it, they're going to be the ones that's in the Super Bowl again this year. That's just my opinion. But like I said, if y'all want to be winning and consistently winning at Pick'em, please don't fight your feelings. Just don't fight the urge. You can acknowledge that I know what I talk about and know what I pick. You don't have to wait till we get behind the scenes and say, you know what, that pick you picked was right. It's understandable. Just trust me. It's okay. It's okay. Really, it is. But if y'all can all help me out, do me a favor on all my socials, whether it's TikTok, YouTube, especially YouTube, please, especially YouTube. Go on YouTube, like all my videos. I got videos on there that I know you guys probably seen on Facebook or Instagram, but I need somebody to go over there and like all the videos. Tell him again, Mom, I beat you when you was playing. Could take losing on your own show while you left. Because I felt as though it wasn't. It would be biased. Like people would think that I would cheat or whatever, just to say that I won or whatever. So I didn't want that. But at the end of the day, like I said, go on YouTube, please. Top Shelf Sports Talk. They got videos on there. That if y'all could go in there and just hit the like button, even comment on them, whatever the case may be. I'm trying to grow YouTube. If you guys can share my YouTube page out on your page and help that YouTube page grow, it would be greatly appreciated. Again, I'm on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And if you like what I do here, please drop a follow. If you like all the content that I've been giving out or putting out, please drop a follow. I would greatly appreciate it. That is my show for today. Thanks to my mom, Jason, and everybody else who joined the show today. I really appreciate your love and support. It means a lot. It's your boy Jamar, Top Shelf Sports Talk. Hold on, let's go out with our let's go out with our bang. Let's do it. We gotta beat the Giants.
Thing I want you to do for me.
What?
Come here.
What?
Win. Win. Well, you know what you gotta do. Do it.
How you feel what's about to happen on this field, man?
They gon' get it to us, we got to take it.
They won't black out. We gon' get one black out.
Stay together and keep fighting down.
Time to knuckle up. Do everything that move.
And it is Hurts touchdown.
Brian Westbrook, he scored! Touchdown!
And the Eagles win. The Eagles win.
Let's get into it all night. Relentless, relentless, relentless.
Are you spirit? Are you power? Are you love? Give me what you got.
Right here, right now.
You ain't ready for a fight? Go ahead and go home. Cause that's what this gonna be for 4 quarters. A fight. We always win when we fight together. That's how winning is done.
Now get out there.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Flyers, Phillies, let's talk about them. Sixers, Eagles, let's talk about them. What the Union doing? Pull up with the crew and have a drink or two and let's talk about them. This a PHI bar. Bruce Willis, we die hard. I know you feel us, cause Philly fans is the best sports fans by far. No cheating here, we gon' keep it fair. You don't like my set, somebody help them. This the key, if we can disagree without disrespecting, everybody welcome. So what we talking about? Practice? What we talking about? Let's unpack this. Top shelf, sports talk, lights, cameras, we active.